is back to successful ways. It would be just great to share one more great moment with them. Not for me personally, anyhow. It's more like I see how much hard work goes into this from the players, from all our staff, from all the people in the club, and to be able to celebrate this proper, even with the league title. And we know we have also some songs about being champions, and to be allowed to sing these songs again and to share this moment together. Yeah, of course, would be great. Again, doesn't take anything away, even if we don't win it. That was a remarkable and outstanding season, and we have achieved something historical, but of course it would mean a lot.
A third title for him, Popey, just on an individual front as a head coach. What an unbelievable achievement that is.
And he doesn't say it in a way that diminishes what he's done at other clubs as well. But I tell you what, this one's special with Leeds. He loved his time at Norwich. There's mules to him in Norwich. He's done well in Germany. He actually did all right with Mönchengladbach last season. They finished, 2 years ago, they finished 14th, lower than when he left them the season after he's gone. The guy's a really good coach, but this will be extra special. It's the manner they've done it. For me, I think the style's been really good. I know it hasn't suited everybody, but they've done it in style. They're worthy champions. The work promotion, absolutely, but these are worthy champions. And I think for him, you could tell the other day he got emotional for the first time when his name was being sung. He spoke to us afterwards. I think this has meant that little bit more to him, and I just feel a little bit sad that it's been tainted with some of the reports and the sort of confusion, if you want to call it that, over his future. But don't let that diminish what he's achieved, because it's been special, and he's done it with, let's face it, one of the biggest footballing entities around, and that's Leeds United.
The pressure that's been on him to get this job done, to get it done last season, to fail at the final hurdle, John, and then to get this club with its 3 best players sold last summer, rejuvenated, back on the front foot, go again and get them into a position where they've won promotion already with 2 games to spare, and they're on the verge of winning a title. That is some effort by Daniel Farke.
It's a huge effort, absolutely huge effort, and that's why I say you've got to give all the credit to Daniel and his staff, and hence the reason I say you've got to give them the opportunity next season. I really do believe that, because I think they've earned it. And let's sort of like undercook it. That was a real huge building job that was done in the summer, losing the 3 best players, and late on in the window as well, and they turned it around. And it's all right having the best players, because I think Leeds have, but you've still got to go and win games. You've still got to go and win the title. And they've had a couple of blips this season, a couple of ups and downs, but overall they're the best team in the league, and they deserve to go and win the game today and get 100 points and win the championship.
We look away to our right-hand side. There are the mascots holding white and green Plymouth flags. No guard of honour today for Leeds United, because of the fact they're not yet champions. They have been promoted, but they're not champions. We look away to our left. There's a giant flag in the home end that says "We are Argyle," that is slowly making its way left to right. They do make a good noise here. We came here a couple of times last season in the League and Cup. They make a fantastic noise here. They'll add to what is a celebratory day for Leeds United, will the home fans. The game we love, the team we adore, says another flag on the far side of the ground, with those green and white striped and checkered flags being waved here. It is their final game in the Championship. It would take a remarkable turn of events for them to stay in the division today. Events that just simply would never have been seen before and would never be seen again. So we can pretty much say that Plymouth will be in League One next season, and we can say for sure that Leeds United will be in the Premier League next season. As the substitutes make their way down the touchline here, they will all be able to be a part of that today as well, those celebrations. And that's key, John, isn't it? That everyone can be a part of it. We've mentioned that in the crowd over there, you've got Firpo, De Bayo, you've got James and Strauch who are in that away end there, and they're going to be able to be a part of the celebrations after full time. Whether Leeds have won the title or not, they'll be able to celebrate in the coming days. It's a squad game.
Yeah, I think it's very much a squad game in this day and age. We've spoken about it before, 9 substitutes. You take a big contingent with you every away game. And I think the squad players feel more part of it, which is nice. I think, back in our day, we only had a couple of subs, and there was 16 if you travelled, and it was more difficult. It was a closer knit group. But that's a modern day football, and so yeah, everybody will celebrate if you've had this, the tiniest game time, tiniest amount of game time or not, or you're the record appearance holder for the club. You all enjoy it and celebrate in the same fashion, because that's what you are. You're a team.
Gilavogi just making his way down pitch side. Is it Gilavogi making his way down pitch side? It is. And he's in his kit. He's not got a tracksuit top on or anything like that. He is in his kit making his way down the touchline here. The away end in great noise. And here we go then. These two teams make their way out onto the field of play. Ethan Ampadu turns to his right hand side and applauds that full away end. And there are thousands more in and around Plymouth right now who would love to be in here. And we know many of you listening around the world would love to be here with us as well, and we wish you could be, but hopefully we'll bring this noise, bring this atmosphere, and hopefully we'll bring a trophy into your living rooms, your cars, your bedrooms, your gardens, your workplaces, wherever you might be. Hopefully we can bring those moments to you today live on BBC Radio Leeds. You need to be on FM frequencies to not miss a thing this afternoon. You can also listen to our post-match reaction, including a title lift, a trophy lift on the BBC Sounds website and app as well. And they do make their way into the centre of the field to go through the formalities before we get the action underway. As Leeds United, this group of Leeds United players look to become just the 8th set of players in the history of this football club to be crowned champions of the league that they have been playing in. Will they do it? Stay with us on BBC Radio Leeds to find out. For the last time in the Championship, I'll hand you over to our commentary duo, a title winner in his own right, 92 title winner John Newsom, alongside your Leeds United correspondent Adam Pope.
Thanks, Johnny. Yes, John Newsom's held the trophy that's at stake today, and the players that have walked out have pulled this club to within touching distance of doing it themselves are in front of us now. The mighty Whites in white against the green of Plymouth. And just to tell you how far this club has come, 2 years ago to this very day, they sacked Javi Gracia and brought in Sam Allardyce. So all credit to the man walking down in front of us now in black. Daniel Farker goes to his dugout, already promoted for a third time, hoping for a title for the third time with Leeds United, who are in front of us now. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who's joined us this season in the commentary box. The Lady White, Simon Grayson, particularly John Newsom, away from home for all these travels, Simon Ricks, Johnny Buchan, everybody back at base, the whole team at BBC Radio Leeds, but most of all this season, it's for Mary from Clare, it's for Adam, who messages us about his ill father who listens to us, and it's to Jane, who always messages in a little emoji of a radio to say she's with us. Well, we're glad to be with you all here again today for what we hope is a mega occasion. Leeds United against Plymouth Argyle. Wherever you are, join in. What we hope is another party on the south coast in the sunshine. We've been here before, haven't we? 35 years ago. Can they do it again? Well, to do so, one change. Sam Bynum comes in on his 219th appearance for Leeds to start for Junior Firpo on the left side of the fence. Jaden Bogle on the right, Joe Rode underneath, and Ampadu in front of Carl Darlow, and in front of the skipper Ampadu is either Gruev and Autanaka, and then the front four, Woody Nonto, Brendan Aronson, Manor Solomon, and top scorer with 19 goals, Joel Pirro. On the bench for Leeds today, we see the return for Joe Rothwell and Isaac Schmidt, Ilan Meliwe, Patrick Bamford, Largi Ramazani, Matteo Joseph, Joshua Giavogi, Max Ruber, and 16-year-old Harry Gray. Plymouth Argyle line-up as follows.
Hello, and thank you for listening to BBC Local Radio on the internet. Unfortunately, the current programme on this station is unavailable. This is either due to contractual reasons
Well, mathematically, it can still stay up. They need 14 goals swinging in there.
Yeah, they've had a yeah.
I think we, I think, I think we can pretty much write them off as playing League One football next season. Leeds United need to match or better the result at Turf Moor. So even if Burnley win, even if they have a really impressive victory, if Leeds scrape over and get 3 points and they're up. There's an early corner for Leeds, ball into the area towards the back stick, flapped away by Hazard in goal. Leeds keep it alive. And played across towards Joe Rodon. They'll start again. It's myself, Tom Wilson, joined by John Hogan. Plymouth down, John, pretty much, but brilliant form at the minute. Maybe there won't be as much of a pushover as at least the table would suggest.
Yeah, they've had an interesting season. Obviously, Wayne Rooney got tuned to some degree. They fell off a little bit. They let him go, and then they bought some players, didn't they? They bought some centre backs and rechanged the way that they went about things, and I think that improved them. But it was always going to be tough. There is a chasm between the one and the Championship. Maybe Birmingham can sort of breach that next time around. For Leeds, if they win this, obviously they'll be champions, and that they'll want to do. And both them and Burnley could end up on 100 points this season, and it takes good teams to do that. Both the two teams would be worthy champions, wouldn't they? Burnley, I mean, just as tight as anything. Conceding so few goals in a season is a near miracle. They've been brilliant. But Leeds have been scoring for fun, so both would be worthy winners.
Yeah, if Leeds were to win 7-0 today, which considering they beat Cardiff by that scoreline and they're only one place behind Plymouth in the table, they would get 100 goals. They'd be one of the very few. If maybe I can't, none come to mind in terms of a team that's done 100 goals and 100 points as well. Maybe Fulham a few years ago. 2.5 minutes in, though. Plymouth 0, Leeds 0. Leeds just giving the ball away there, and immediately you can see already as Leeds win it back that the sort of tail of the tape for the rest of this game has already been set in motion. Plymouth with all their bodies behind the ball. Here's Bogle striding into the final third, goes round one, then he's tackled by the big centre half in Talivirov. It's partially cleared away by Plymouth, then reversed back towards Nonto infield. Gruev goes down, won back by Plymouth, then again won back and given away back to Leeds United. They'll come again with Bogle infield to Gruev, centrally for Piru, takes it on the turn, gets a touch away, thinks about a shot, and then it just closes off for him. He sprays it out towards the left. Solomon down the line to Byram. The only change for Daniel Farke's side from that 4-0 victory against Bristol City. Bringing the Plymouth changes in a moment. Here's Solomon now, going one way then the other, trying to find room for a strike across to Grove. And you can see, John, already they're going to make it really difficult for Leeds to create chances in this game as Mumba wins it back.
Yeah, he does. Decent enough start from Leeds. They, it's all in front of them really. They want to be champs. They've come this far. I think at times in the season, like any season, there are doubts. They had a lead, it went. They were then in third position, weren't they, for a while? The fans getting a bit antsy and a bit worried. When everybody's saying, well, Daniel Farke keeps playing the same team and it's wrong. He kept playing the same team, and then they started winning again. And so, and even then, they're going up. Oh, Daniel Farke might not be managing the team. It seems a bit of a slap in the face, that. But for the players, 3 points here, they're champions, and they want to celebrate that. It is the icing on top of a pretty good cake. And even then, everybody knows there's going to be a lot of hard work between now and the start of next season if Leeds want to be competitive.
Ball on the left-hand side here with Plymouth still in the first 5 minutes. This is a good run from Tijani, gets away from a couple, then he's helped out by Bundu. Ball comes into the area. It's not convincingly defended by Leeds United, but eventually swept away by Byram. Kept alive though by Plymouth on the right-hand side. Chance for a ball in is quickly closed off. They have to reverse it back to Parson, who lofts it into the area. Darlow comes, flaps at it at first, doesn't collect it comfortably. Then it's kicked away by Bundu and out of play for a throw-in, which I think has gone to the home side. Or, no, he's given a free kick, I think, for the coming together between Bundu and Jaden Bogle. Carl Darlow there, not the most confident of catches from him.
Yeah, it was a ball hung up in the air. It was just getting away from him, really. His own play got in the way. He's catching it off the back of Bogle, and it bounces off his back. But yeah, you know, I think he had to come and do something there. He might just let his defender defend, but there's no doubt that they've been short up at the back since Carl Darlow has taken the place of Ilan Melier, who was just causing a little bit of consternation. Just made too many mistakes this season. I think his card is marked now.
He doesn't play again, you don't think?
I don't think so. You know, a lot would have to change or go wrong. The assumption would be that Leeds buy another keeper. I don't think, you know, I think if they go into the Premier League with Darlow, something's gone wrong, which means that they haven't been able to buy somebody. You know, all sorts have been linked. Sam Johnston for one this last week, but certainly Darlow's an improvement this season.
Leeds in possession inside their own half. 6 minutes gone. Plymouth 0, Leeds 0. We've got our first goal in the Championship, and it's a continuous poor run of form for Sunderland. They're almost fortunate that they've secured that playoff spot a little while ago, because their form has not been good enough. QPR are leading away from home.
It's almost like sulking, isn't it? Well, we can't go because of right.
Yeah.
They were one of the four. They made a good start to the season. It's like, oh well, why bother? But all the why bothering, and you know, we know where we are. We're in the playoffs anyway. You just worry where's the confidence, you know, ebbing into how are they going to just pick it up in the play? Say, all right, we'll start playing now. You know, I don't think it's an easy thing just to pick it up.
Ball over the top there doesn't quite work out for Leeds United. Just ahead of Manor Solomon, into the hands of Plymouth goalkeeper Hazard. I mentioned changes. They made 3 from their 2-1 victory against Preston. They were massively outdone in that game. Goals from Bundu and Wright, but it was 3 points despite just 31% possession. They had 16 less shots than their opponents, and just 3 shots on target. Somehow came away with all 3 points. Roberts, Edwards and Taliverov come in for JB, of course. He's on loan from Leeds United. Katic and Puegzello, the others to miss out. As I mentioned, Leeds just 1 change. Byram in for Firpo, seems to have picked up a hamstring
Big goal
injury
at the bottom of the table, eh? West Brom looked like they might just have scored. Confirmation of that against Luton.
Yeah,
they all kick off at the same time, though. It's always exciting when, you know, when there are a few plots, bits and pieces happening, and the Championship's, you know, when there are a few plots, bits and pieces happening, and the Championship, it's been like that this season, hasn't it? So playoffs and you know, the fight to avoid relegation trapdoor has been interesting this season.
Wix gives you the power of AI.
Has been interesting this season.
Yeah, 6 teams can still go down, although you think about the huge goal swing Plymouth need, you can almost say it's 5 into 1, isn't it? Luton, Hull, Preston, Derby, Stoke, all still potentially going down, but it is Luton who've just dropped into the bottom 3, as John says. West Brom have taken a 1-0 lead. Leeds have got a free kick in our game at Home Park. Plymouth 0, Leeds 0. 9 minutes in, it's Manor Solomon over it, as is Ilya Gruev. So it's either a right footer or a left footer. It comes in from Solomon, swings towards the front post, headed towards goal, but it's right at the chest and into the hands of Hazard. I think that was Joe Rodon. It was Ethan Ampadu, the Leeds skipper, with the first real attempt at goal.
Yeah, he was a reasonable ball in. He's headed it straight. Luton have hit straight back in that game. Wow. Yeah, there's a lot on it. There's a lot on it. You know, the whole fans thinking, rubbing their hands. Ooh, we're at the bottom three. Oh, we're back in the bottom three. You know, virtually in the space of a minute. So that's why a day like today, when they're all kicking off at the same time, is exciting. Here's a break. Barley Mumba down the left-hand side. Real opportunity. Then can he get his cross in? The flag must have gone up. He looked like he was on to me, but anyway. Well, we'll get a better look at this. Perhaps we look at this showing us the header for Ampadu straight down the middle. But I would rather see
between India and England in Rajkot. India end the day in apparent complete control, closing on 196 for 2 with a lead of 322 runs after bowling England out for 319 earlier in the day. We'll discuss another collapse by England, whether Joe Root's form and shot selection is a concern, and whether or when India should declare on day 4. And we'll get reaction from Ben Duckett from the...
10 minutes gone in ours. Plymouth 0, Leeds 0. It's Solomon from that left-hand side. Just cuts infield. He's got 3 in green around him. Leeds, by the way, going from left to right in the first 45 minutes. It's the home white strip for them. Plymouth right to left in all green. Ball into the air. Flick towards goal. It's just under the feet of Brendan Aronson. He can't quite get a good enough connection on it, and it goes over the bar, and a chance goes begging.
It was a good ball in, I thought. You know, for Bogle, he's got a lot of time to measure it. He just drills it in, puts it through the legs. Very hard to sort of readjust his feet there. It's the kind of miss we've seen all sorts of times. Yeah, I thought it was an enterprising attempt to try and flick it in. Maybe he needs to do that drag heel that we saw in midweek in the Champions League, something like that. But he's not quite the same standard, is he?
Yeah, some finish that was, wasn't it? Brilliant game as well in Europe in midweek. Here's Joel Piru, who's been in great form. Plays out towards the right-hand side for Jaden Bogle. A lot of question marks over the Leeds United side. Who can make the step up? Who do they need to replace? I think Jaden Bogle's one of them where I think he'll be okay in the Premier League.
Well, if he can get forward, if all he's got to do is defend, then he's in big trouble. But well, Leeds are in trouble anyway.
Ooh.
Ball comes across from Nyonto, not the best, just a bit too much adrenaline on that one, and he missed his colleagues. They're in white today, Leeds. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. The fans, I think, like in the yellow away strip this season, aren't they, with the smiley badge on? That's a good retro kit for them. But at the minute, you know, you can tell that they're keen. Millwall have scored. We'll just wait confirmation of that. But yeah, the little dot. And wow, I mean, you know, for Millwall, there's a plot for them. They've got work to do. They want to get in the playoffs. You know, they've had a great season. But Burnley, who don't concede, have conceded.
Yeah. Leeds fans may feel a bit fortunate, John, that on the final day when it comes down to the title race, Leeds are playing a Plymouth side who, as I say, are pretty much down, whereas Burnley, you know, they're hosting a Millwall side who really, really want to win.
But would you rather be at home against anybody, do you know what I mean, or away? The way the two teams have played this season, Burnley wouldn't be fearing Millwall at home, would they? But yeah, it's a tough kick. We saw all the scenes ahead of kick-off at Home Park. You know, where we are Argyle, great big banner and all that kind of stuff. You know, they're not dialing it in today. They just might end up not being quite good enough. But it won't be for want of trying.
Ball down the right-hand side for Plymouth into the area. Plenty back to get in front of Edwards before he can get a cross in. It bounces off Solomon and out for a Plymouth throw. Not really seeing too much from them in the opening 13 minutes, at least going forward. Plymouth 0, Leeds United 0. Wow, I think Burnley have just come back straight away, John. At least on my screen, they may have scored, so it could be Burnley 1, Millwall 1. 2 quick-fire goals, as we had in the game between West Brom and Luton. It looks like Norwich have also taken lead at already relegated Cardiff. Nothing to play for except pride in that one. Long throw here, Taliverov into the area, flicked up towards the edge of the box by Roden, drops on the edge. The shot comes in from Plymouth, but he drags it wide.
Roberts, I think.
Roberts, yep.
Yeah,
on his
Caleb
left boot.
Roberts. He never really got a hold of that. Scraped it with his left peg, and the only way that would have gone in is if it had been deflected. But again, warning signs. Like I said, it's a beautiful day. You know, the stadium's full. I'm sure Leeds fans are making a lot of noise, but it's making an atmosphere. You know, for the home fans, they were probably coming into the season thinking, well, we've seen it all before. We've been up, we've been down. We know what the drill is. They've had bits of hope. this season it's been interesting, but there's not a bad team in the Championship, and I certainly wouldn't, I wouldn't call Plymouth a bad team at all. So there's something there. They're not in it with no points. They've got a lot. I was just wondering if in other seasons their points tally would have been enough to keep them up. Maybe. But that's how tough it's been this season, and certainly they've not been terrible.
Leeds in possession, just on the halfway line. 15 minutes gone in the game. Plymouth 0, Leeds United 0. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary on this final day in the Championship. Leeds looking to make it 2 Championship titles in 5 years. Of course, got it under Marcelo Bielsa just after the COVID pandemic. Here's Rodon towards left-hand side for Ampadu, forward for Solomon. Leeds keeping the ball well. Confirmation of that Burnley goal by Josh Brownhill again.
You know what? He scored a rake of goals from midfield this season. They built it up down that right-hand side, and he's involved in a little triangle with his striker and right winger, Edwards, I think it is. The other feature, unfortunately for Burnley, is that he won't be there next season. He's come to the end of his contract. He's on a free. I think West Ham want him, amongst others. It's more likely he goes, which would be a big blow for the Clarets. It really will.
Throw in for Leeds in the final third. Sam Byram will take it in front of some home fans at Home Park. Down the line, lovely turn from Solomon. Towards the byline now is Aronson, trying to find room for a cross. Goes down, but no real claims of a penalty except from the American referee. Jeremy Simpson not interested. It will be a Plymouth goal kick. A little bit light there, I think.
Well, he's lightweight, isn't he? He's not built a much, but did Suk get him there? He dribbles past him on the inside. I thought he looked like he dived after he'd been caught. So he did. There was contact. You shouldn't have to hurdle anybody, but it's too little. And then when he thinks about it, he thinks, I better go down and make sure the referee knows I've been clipped. And then it looked dead weak. But I thought there was contact, probably not enough for a penalty.
Here's Plymouth down the left-hand side with Mumba. Infield to Bundu. Gets past one and another. That's brilliant from him. Inside the box, still going here. Bundu, can he get a shot away? Does get a shot away off the post and out of play for a goal kick. That was a brilliant solo effort from Bundu. I said before, we're not seeing much of them, but they do have the ability to just come to life and nearly spoiled Leeds United's party.
Yeah, he's a big, rangy, strong, athletic attacker, Mustafa Bundu from Sierra Leone. Great footwork there. He just keeps on going. I think had that gone in with a goal this season, I think he's beaten 4 there.
Yeah.
He gets round Bogle too easily. It's difficult beating Tanaka, but he does. And he's still dribbling and keeping the ball away from him. He makes 2 beautiful cuts there, and his shot ain't bad. That comes off the woodwork. He's dead unlucky.
Norwich have taken a 2-0 lead against now 10 men Cardiff. Callum Chambers sent off straight red in that game, just quarter of an hour in. But there's bigger news in the game. Also on the south coast, Portsmouth 0, Hull 1. They've taken the lead. That will take them out of the relegation places. It'll drop Luton back in, despite them drawing. They need to go ahead. Here come Plymouth, who are causing problems early on. 17.5 minutes in. It's Bundu again off the left-hand side. Rodon comes across, cuts in, then back to his left. Brilliant again from Bundu. Oh, he tries to find the back of the net. He does. He takes a deflection. It somehow ended up in the back of the net.
It's a big OG, that one, I'm telling you. I think it's Byram who puts it in. But I tell you what, great credit there. Do you know what? If you know how Leeds play, well, you know that Jaden Bogle's going to go walkabout. So Bundu's in the gap waiting for the ball. He gets it. He's free. We've seen him dribbling. He beats Rodon. All ends up there. And then when he drives the ball across the face, I'm thinking it's a shame his ball wasn't good. And then somehow I think it must have gone in off Byram. I think his cross was missing. Byram's just, a magnet to the ball. And the next thing, his keeper's pulling it out the back of the net. So Plymouth 1, Leeds 0.
Yeah, it might not go down as a Bundu goal, but it is Plymouth 1, Leeds 0, 18.5 minutes in. And it's the second time in as many minutes that he's caused this Leeds United backline problems. See a replay now, cuts back onto left brilliantly. I think that's a shot. It comes off the post and then off Sam Byram into the back of the net.
Yeah, well, absolute credit to him. It's a shame he didn't go in straight away. But you know what? That little bit of skill. He's all right foot, isn't he? But he cuts it back. He's cutting it onto his left foot, but he still uses his right foot, doesn't he? So he's so one-footed, it's untrue. But what a wand he's got there with that right foot. Incredible skills there. And we saw that about a couple of minutes ago. He beat 5. A shame he didn't score with that one. But he's got a goal somehow. Unfortunately for him, it's going to go down as a Byram own goal.
And unfortunately for Plymouth, they need about 13 more of them to save themselves. Nothing short of a miracle, but
well, one brings 2, Tom.
Well, yeah, games are changed by goals, aren't they, John? So hopefully the home fans can get behind them. But it is Plymouth 1, Leeds 0, 20 minutes in, and at the minute Burnley will be champions. It's not going the way of Leeds United at the moment. Here's Solomon trying to change their fate this afternoon. Drops back away from the defender. Then a cross doesn't come in from Byram. He shaped up to send a ball into the box, but it never came. Rodon instead does the job into the box. It comes off. Piru trying to get on the end of it now. He's Bogle inside the box. Gets a shot away. Takes a deflection towards goal, and it's over the bar from about 6 yards.
Yeah, not much anybody could do with that. I mean, the ball just laced in there, and I think it came off the knee of Joel Piru and hopped over the top. Camera's lingering on Piru now, walking back. Could easily gone in. You know, I get the feeling that Leeds score at least 1 today, and you know, that might end up being enough. But they've been full of goals. They've got to be careful though, because right now Plymouth are not thinking, oh, well, let's all file back because we scored a goal. They're probably thinking, right, well, we know we've got the beating of these guys. They're leaving the cupboard bare when they're, firing forward with all their players driving towards the Plymouth goal. It's leaving big gaps.
Yeah, I think motivation's really important, isn't it? And what motivation do Plymouth have? They can't stay up, but there is at least something to play for. It's not just a dead rubber, is it? It's nothing. It's not one of those where neither team has anything to play for. Plymouth can be the team that stopped Leeds United winning the title. I don't think they would have chose that at the start of the season, but it's the cards that they've been drawn, and that's what they're doing. And they're doing the job.
You want to be that team, don't you? Why not?
Yep.
We had a say in the title race, and Burnley fans can thank us because we were brilliant that day. That's it. You know what? If you're a Plymouth fan, you haven't turned up just to get beat, have you? You want to see something. You want to see, that quality, and then you sort of think, all right, it hasn't been a great season, but what can we build? It's the hope, isn't it? And for the management team, Muslich and that, who we're keeping, who looked good. We know Leeds are a good team. How do we fare that last game? Who we're keeping? All those sorts of things. So there's always loads to play for.
And as I said earlier, good form at the minute for a side that, they are second from bottom, but over the last 5 games, they're the 7th best team on the form table. Over the last 10 games, they're the 8th best team. So then it's never going to be a walk in the park for Leeds United this afternoon. It's proving so as well. Ball over the left-hand side for Solomon. Takes it down well. A couple of bounces before he's able to really bring it under his spell. Then it comes in towards the back post. Heads go up with Nonto. It's over the bar and out for a Plymouth goal kick. They're just doing enough, Plymouth. They're not allowing Leeds to create clear-cut chances.
Well, Barley Mumba just standing there meant that when Wilfred Nyonto's rising for the ball at far post, all he could do was get his head on that. So good defending, I think. Just puts himself into Nyonto. The ball wouldn't come down for Solomon there. Did a great control from him and a decent ball to the far post. Everybody's wanting to get in on the act. I'm pretty certain Leeds score today.
22.5 minutes gone. Plymouth 1, Leeds United 0. As I say, at the moment, Burnley will be crowned champions. They're currently drawing 1-1 in their game at home to Millwall, who are chasing one of the final 2 playoff places. It's Plymouth in possession. Hazard's going to clear, and as he does, I'll hand over to John to take you through to half-time.
Thanks, Tom. So, a very different game that we're watching. Who's been the best player the first half? Well, I've got to say so far, it's Mustafa Bundu. Incredible close skills that he's got. Norwich should romp into victory now against Cardiff, aren't they? Who are down already. Swansea, they've got a goal against Oxford United. I was reading it's probably going to be the last hurrah for Joe Allen, who, we've seen him this season get an assist in a draw against Leeds at the death, didn't we? So, he reminds us what a good player he has been. I don't know if he even is starting today, but I think I would have started him for old time's sake. And used to say he wasn't involved in the goal. Cracking good player. And that's it. A few farewells and 4 Leeds. 1 or 2 of these lads will be wearing the white strip for the last time. Here's Tanaka, edge of the area. He thumps the ball out with his feet. Peru, it's a good ball and a cut back, and well, there's two waiting to put the ball in. I think Bogle got in the way of Gnonto or the other way around, but maybe that should have been one apiece.
Yeah, one of them's got to tap it in. It's brilliant from Peru. We saw a brilliant pass, didn't we, for the Gnonto goal in the 4-0 victory against Bristol. He puts another lovely ball around the corner to the overlapping. Is it Sam Byram, I think? And it's a whipped delivery from him. He does exactly what you expect him to do. You're just waiting for Gnonto or Bogle to tap it in. I think, to his credit, Hazard might get a touch on this.
Yeah, I reckon so too. Just off his fingertips, that takes it away from Gnonto. I think he was diving in at the far post. So Plymouth 1, Leeds 0. It remains. Thumbs up then from Connor Hazard. He'll launch it to long. We haven't seen much of Tijani so far. Mustafa Bundu has been the key cog. Peru controls the ball away from Such, and now they've got a break with Solomon running into space down the left-hand side. Palston tries to get across. Such now is back with him. Into the box he goes though. Rolls it to the edge of the area. Gruev's thinking about a strike. Goes for a strike. And it's one or two green shirts and just pings away. I think Talavierov was in and amongst it there. There's enough block as they get the bodies back, and for Plymouth, they've got a throw and they're celebrating it like it's a goal. They're having a good time, aren't they? And you've got to love it, you know. Decent weather, nice dry day. The pitch looks great. The home fans are clapping and cheering and enjoying it. Why not?
I think, you know, you look at Cardiff, been in the Championship for a long time. Their fans will be really upset that they're going down. Whoever goes down out the rest, you know, Hull themselves have been in the Championship a long time. It's currently Luton, isn't it? And of course they'll be distraught being in the Premier League last season. But for Plymouth, as you said earlier, you know, they almost expected to struggle in the Championship, coming up from League One, and they have put up a little bit of a fight. It's been brilliant form over the last few months under Music, as you say, brought in the defenders and they've shored up the defence, and they'll go again in League One. They don't seem too unhappy. It's almost not saying they expected to go down, but they knew it wasn't going to be an easy ride in the Championship. And you know, when you set your expectations a little bit lower, you're not as upset come the end of the season.
No, they've had some good shouts as well at home park. You know, it's a massive catchment to Plymouth. You know, if they can squeeze about 20,000 in the stadium, you know, it's a good base to build something. If they can build on what they've got this season, then who knows? There's a little shove in the box there from a long throw for Plymouth, spotted by the referee, and he just wagging a finger at Ryan Hardy. Anyway, we'll take a look. Hard to spot really what it was, the Hardy and Ampadu having it coming together, but Leeds back on the ball. Plymouth 1, Leeds 0, and it was an own goal, but brilliance as well. And
Preston taking the lead.
Wow, that's a big goal, isn't it?
It's three of the top six, John, are currently 1-0 down.
So that's that kind of division. You can't really bank on anything in this Championship, apart from a load of draws usually, which been banging on about that all season. But here is Rodon over the halfway line. As a betting man at the minute, I'd still probably want to be on Leeds, but drawbackers might just fancy that Plymouth with a 1-goal start. Might just keep them a bit honest. There was a shove in the back then on Gnonto from Barley Mumba. Didn't seem like much of anything to me.
Bit soft, wasn't it? I think he overruns the ball there, the Italian, and Mumba just touches him and he goes down Gnonto way too easy. It's the slightest touch, but it is, dare I say, it's a little bit of a dive.
Just a bit. His shot comes in, and the decent save there. I think it was Aronson with a right-footed strike again. I keep saying,
yeah,
he needs to get in the weight training room.
I knew you were going to say that.
Just put a little bit of beef on that. He just can't seem to get it past the keeper, can he? He's a good player and all that, picks up great positions. His shots don't seem to go in.
Yeah, I was going to say before, when Gruev had that effort from the edge of the target, it comes across too tame, doesn't it? You know, he doesn't have any zip on it. It doesn't look like it's going to threaten the Plymouth goalkeeper, and they haven't so far, Leeds United.
No, they've gone pretty close a couple of times. Close enough to think that they've got goals in them today. Rodon's on the ball. Again, they've seen plenty of it. Plymouth now with a low block, keeping low. Tijani's the only one who's anywhere near even the centre circle. As Tanaka picks up the ball, he finds Bogle. There's plenty of movement ahead of him, but he opts to come in field. There's no great chase then from Bundu, not his gig really. And the ball then with Ampadu. A good pass to the ball. Say that. Obviously he's going to give it away, but the ball is won back. Now Byram, can he get a ball in? Just at the edge of the box. He's forced to go back. He hasn't got a left foot, has he? And now with Solomon, who has a left foot but prefers his right. And he's got the ball on a string again. He cuts onto his right hand side. Is he going to shoot? Thinks about a shot. Does shoot. And he shoots over the top of the goal frame.
Yeah, it's all a bit telegraphed at the minute for Leeds United. As you say, it goes out towards that left for Byram. He is predominantly right-footed. Doesn't want to cross it on his left. The last time he did, it was a brilliant cross. It just needed tapping in. It never came. He goes back to Solomon instead, who's screaming for the ball. And you know exactly what he's trying to do there, don't you? But yeah, he doesn't quite catch it right. He'll be unhappy with that, I think, because he's looked for that all season, and very rarely has that come off.
So West Brom have scored against Luton, you know, for the whole fans, all started in the bottom three, didn't they? Then they were out of it, then they were back in it, and then they scored a goal. They were out of it again, and now they're even more out of it because Luton are more in it. So. Anyway, here Tanaka driving forward at the edge of the box, goes for a strike. He never really catches hold of that. Right-footed effort, just dragged well wide.
Yeah, those are the opportunities I think Leeds need to make more of when Plymouth do throw the odd body forward and Leeds can catch them on the counter. Try and make the most of it, because 9 times out of 10 when Leeds have had the ball looking towards the final third, it's just been a sea of green. It wasn't on this occasion, and Tanaka rather snatches at it.
Yeah, he drove into a lot of space, but didn't quite work out. Looking at Aronson's effort again, all the things we said still remain pertinent, really. A decent height for the keeper just to beat it out to. I'd have rather seen what happened with Tanaka just there, who just driving into a gap, but here Plymouth again, opportunity down the left-hand side, where they've been strong with the Bundu again. They can't get the ball off him. This time, what a great shot. I think the ball balloons up in the air and it's easy for Darlow, but he's got something. Yeah, I'm just wondering, could he play a higher level perhaps? I don't know. You know, we've seen the best of him today. He's looked good, but he's got the skill. I mean, if you're thinking maybe it's because Leeds haven't worked out that he's all right foot, but he's got a good right foot, hasn't he? And he's a good dribbler and he's strong.
Yeah, he started really well. 10 goals as well in this championship season. It took him a year to sort of acclimatise, but yeah, he looks really strong. He loves to run with the ball. He's got great feet. He's got a decent finish, good right foot, as you say. He's been a thorn in Leeds' side so far, and he's the man that's spoiling the party.
Yep, he sure is. Anyway, Leeds are playing their way out from the back. Little flick and the ball goes out left. It's kept in well, but then some decent defending by Zuch. Joe Edwards comes to help him out, but Leeds have the ball back, and then now it's Nyonto, and he's on the right-hand side, looks up, drives into a gap, puts the ball in, but it's a big deflection, and that will be a corner kick. Went off Randall, I think, in the end, and Leeds have a chance from a corner.
I thought Solomon, I think it was, down that left, could have made more of an effort to swing the ball back to Piroux once it came. I know he's not blessed with pace, Joel Piroux, but he is in behind and he could get one-on-one with the goalkeeper, if the ball is right. It doesn't come.
Anyway, the corner kick goes to the far post. It's headed away, not cleared, and then it's kneed over the top of the goal frame. Just a bit snatchy, aren't they, today at Leeds? They're desperate to do well. Sometimes desperation isn't your best friend. But we take another look at this. When the ball comes in, it's contested. I think it might have gone off the top of Rodon's head, straight up in the air, and then off the knee of Aronson. But for Leeds, not quite working out. West Brom have scored another. Luton are destined for the drop, aren't they? Seemingly, Tom Fallows, who I think he's on his way at the end of the season to play Premier League football. Can't remember who that's for, but pretty sure he is. Might be Wolves or somebody. Anyway, I'm pretty sure he's got to move somewhere. But yeah, he's grabbed a goal. Disappointing season, really, for West Bromwich Albion. You'd assumed that they'd have been in the playoffs, but not quite strong enough to do that.
It's all those draws, isn't it, John? 19 draws, along with Preston, the most in the Championship this season. Convert a few of those to wins, and you know they're right up there. But yeah, just games too tight and not able to kill teams off.
Here is a good ball by Bogle, but poor touch by sure, Gruev perhaps. Anyway, the ball into midfield with Randall. He took too long. And now ball scooped up in the air, looking for Manos Solomon. Gets there ahead of Such. He's done really well there. Again, little wriggle. He tries to get the ball while he's inside. He can't quite beat Joe Edwards. The captain's done relatively well. Will be a throw for Leeds. Parallel with the edge of the area on the left-hand side. At home park, Plymouth 1, Leeds 0. And Leeds were hoping for a big grandstand finish to the season. 100 points, a title. But that's sport for you. It doesn't care what Leeds want. And Plymouth have played pretty well when they've gone forward, particularly Bundu, who is the architect of goals. And Barley Mumba, he's played all right too. Get the ball nicked away from him there. Just too many white shirts around. No support. When you see Plymouth play, there's a lot of one-out football, isn't there? Particularly when they're going forward, and they need to work a little bit on what to do as a team. There's the ball out with Nyonto again. Leeds back on the attack. He's looking for the little give and go, and he can't find a teammate. Again, he's done well to win the ball back, though. Plymouth so deep line that they can't pick anybody out with a pass when they've got a chance. Tanaka now at the edge of the box. Bogle all going sideways at the minute. Gruev back to Tanaka. He shapes to go one way, then he's just destined to go backwards. Gets the ball out of his feet. Leeds struggling to keep hold of the ball. Ryan Hardy, though, he can't keep it either. Little mazy dribble, and Leeds again fighting for the ball. Possession at the edge of the area with Peru forced to go backwards, but he keeps it and then he tries to drive it forward. Leeds have lost it. Look like they're going to win it, but again, the Bundu, lovely turn. He's dragged down, an obvious free kick.
We've done a lot at Leeds this season, John, you and I, and I think one thing you're always keen to point out is a lot of the Leeds players don't look like a team that can play twice in a week, and we've seen that come true a few games. We've also seen the opposite. I think this is the case where this looks like a tired Leeds United side. It's been a long season. I think they've probably had a bit of a party, especially after that victory against Bristol last time out. He's only made one change, and it's a forced one. I know they've got the title to play for, but it just feels like an opportunity where they could have thrown a few of the bodies on from the bench and just made it a little bit fresher, because at the minute they look a little bit slow, a little bit off it. I don't know if it's just the occasion and maybe that's getting to them, but it looks like a tired team to me, devoid of ideas.
Yeah, I think so. I think they're flat. It's like after Lord Mayor's show. Maybe the same's happening to Burnley today. I don't know. They're only one apiece. Leeds get an equaliser, then they're champs. At the minute, they're not champs, though. They're going up as of right, but in second place. As they try and make ground down the left-hand side, doesn't really work out. But Byram gets the ball back. Anyway, Manos Solomon has a great season. He said he didn't know where he's going to be next season. You know, Spurs have got to decide what they want to do. It doesn't seem like they want to keep hold of him, but he still doesn't really know. And also, you know, Spurs maybe win a European title. Maybe they're playing in Europe. Maybe with a different manager. Who wants a Manos Solomon in his team? You don't know.
That's right, and you know their league form this season's been terrible. It's crazy, isn't it, that we could have a Europa League final with the 14th and 16th best team from the Premier League this season, but that is potentially what we might have.
But again, that's a frightening prospect, because what's that saying about the Premier League?
Yeah.
It's saying it's got some brilliant teams all the way down to the bottom. You know, and are you going to beat Champions League? The plus side for Leeds is that there are so many teams in Europe. You know, if one or two take their half the prize in the league, or a running tide playing twice a week, it might play into Leeds' favour in the season. So that would be a hope for them. It'd be about 8 teams, won't there, in European football. Leeds have got a bit of defending to do. Somebody getting blocked off there. Playing a white shirt down, can't work out, and the ref's going to stop it. So who are we looking at there?
Byram.
So Byram feeling his shoulder there, I think, or his face, or both.
Yeah, coming together with someone, wasn't it? Sam Byram, he's of course come in because Firpo was injured, so Daniel Farke will be hoping that he doesn't have to replace the replacement. Schmidt is on the bench for them, potential option.
Yep, he could. Vuba, who can play left back. he's left-footed. Not that that seems to get him to butter any parsnips for him in the Leeds lineup. And that'll be another, another position that will need shoring up. Left back, they can't go into Premier League with Byram, and Firpo's out of contract. They haven't had much luck really with left backs, have they? I felt at the time a while ago now they should have held on to Gianni Alioski. He wasn't after the moon on his stick. He only wanted a reasonable upgrade in his contract. They wouldn't give him it. Firpo was supposed to be an improvement and never was. And then of course Dallas, unfortunately for him, got an injury just when, even though he's right footed, looked like he was doing a good job there.
Yeah, you got a few years ago before that, Charlie Taylor. I think his career's sort of petered out a little bit, but for a few years he was a very good left back, particularly at this level and sort of lower mid Premier League range. And Leif Davis as well, who was let go after Leeds got promoted, went to Ipswich, got back-to-back promotions. I know they've now been since been relegated, but could have been a very good option at left back. Even Cody Drama, who is right-footed, can play on that left-hand side.
But again, it's like all those players. What's Cody Drama done this season? He's currently not playing for, is it Hull? You even talk about loanees. Jed Spence. I think he gave the ball away 17 times the last time he played. That was against Liverpool, who were pretty good, mind you. But you know what I mean? It's like, is anybody? Is there a curse? Firpo's had a good season though. More as an attacker, really. But whichever left back plays for Leeds next season, he's going to have a bit of defending to do, I would have thought. Leeds are on the ball plenty here, but they're not doing anything. Nyonto on the ball now. Little stab from him for Bogle. Little spin and a turn. He's beat his man just about. He wants to beat him twice there. I think he probably was getting fouled by Talavierov, who has a little smile. Maxi's got on the back of his shirt. Maxim, his full Christian name. But anyway, it's just a free kick at the edge of the area. Was he really being fouled? Bogle just puts it through his legs. He was getting his shirt pulled to some degree. It wasn't much of anything though, was it really?
Maybe he could have carried on there, John. As you say, he does beat him, and Talavera puts his arm out, stops him running, then grabs him. I don't think Talavera actually need to do that. I think the arm was probably enough. That was stopping Jayden Bogle plenty, but it's a Leeds free kick.
Yeah, Gruev just rolls it. Chance for a shot, blazed over the top by Aronson. It's terrible technique, that. Terrible technique.
I think it's got to go into the area from Gruev. For me, John, you've got plenty up from the back there, Leeds United. I know Plymouth are, they've got some big, tall, strong defenders, but just put it in there and see what happens. Let's whip it towards that back post and cause a problem for the goalkeeper.
Well, he had a man square. Trying to hit the ball, coming onto his right foot from the right hand side is really hard. But what he could have done, it just whipped it along the edge of the box for somebody who's got a better chance to control the ball and hit it. So a bit sloppy but that's been the nature of Leeds' game so far. They've been sloppy in possession a little bit. They've not been, putting their chances away. They've created a few bits and pieces, nothing gilt-edged, and although Conaz has had one save to make, or maybe a couple, nothing that he couldn't cope with either. Here come Leeds again though. They're quite relentless, aren't they? But it's a poor ball from Byron, picked off by Joe Edwards. He looks long, and I think Tijani used his arm to control the ball, but anyway, it's taken off him anyhow, so it didn't matter. Leeds have it back. It's a good ball to Solomon. And he tries to take on Suk again, takes him into the box, looking for a left-footed cutback. It's not bad from him. You always think he's going to get it on his right, but the odd time he plays it on his left, and he's won a corner.
Yeah, he does well there, Solomon. He's probably been the liveliest of the Leeds attackers. We've rarely seen anyone else in a white shirt threaten this Plymouth back line. He's going to take the corner as well.
Yep, they've looked a little bit toothless, Leeds, but they've got a corner kick. So Solomon now right-footed, the ball comes in. Keeper comes and flaps it. It's gone through. Connor has his hands there. Butterfingers, I think you call that. He's a decent goalkeeper normally. Cover a fair amount of Northern Ireland. Anyway, the ball fought for in the middle of the park. Surely a free kick for Plymouth. Although Ampadu's gone down the card shown to Tijani there. I thought Leeds the first foul.
I think he's given the Plymouth free kick and then booked Tijani for the second, John, because the ball is there to be won, and Plymouth get there first on the first one, and then the second one, Tijani's nowhere near. Leeds win the ball and clear it away. It's Ampadu who's gone down. Sam Byram in the first challenge has got back up, but the man that he fouled has stayed down. So, yeah, one for both sides there, but a yellow card for Tijani.
Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? I thought that after the first incident, you sort of say, well, anything that happens after that is null and void, really. But anyway, clearly not. Commentery have scored against Middlesbrough. Big goal for them.
Yeah.
You know, Middlesbrough had half a squeak, didn't they? They need to win that game, and I hope things go their way. Long ball here for Plymouth, and it comes off a Plymouth toe end as well. But Such just hanging a leg out, can't bring the ball in. And, well, we're nearly at the end of 45 undramatic minutes. Not much going on. Bundu's played well when he's had the ball, and he's done enough to gift his team a goal. Came off the inside of the post and off Byram. 2 minutes of added time, we're into that. They've defended fairly stoutly, but Leeds have looked absolutely fine, almost like they've had a great big party.
Yeah.
On Monday, they'll be having a party, won't they? An open top bus through the centre of Leeds. Daniel Farke was saying it's a better gig that if you've actually got a trophy to show everybody. Maybe they won't, maybe they will, but here they come again into the box with Manos Solomon, cuts onto his right, tries to get the shot away. Big deflection from his shot. That's going to be another corner kick.
He's probably had most of the ball for Leeds United, and he's had plenty of shots, Solomon, but every time he gets it, John, he's doing so well because he beats two players every time, but because he's beaten two players, there's two players there to block his shot. He keeps going, and he looks the liveliest. As I keep saying, he looks the freshest.
He does. So can Leeds get anything going? Ball at the near post, bounces through the box. Nobody able to get on the end of that. It's just one of those days, really. I can't say it was great defending, not when the ball's bouncing around like that. As Tanaka now has got a throw. He takes that very quickly, finds Peru. Peru then edge of the area. In the final minute of the first half, Plymouth have a slender advantage, but they're a goal to the good. They start prodding the ball around again. And again, just looking a little bit flat. But Solomon again back on the ball. Two around him now. And again, he beats his man, scrapes the ball through the box. Tanaka will pick it up. And what can he do? Well, he's looking for a give and go. He's fouled. It's going to be a free kick. It'll be the last action of the half. Referee comes across there. Tanaka caught on his toe end. Poor challenge from, I think, Barley Mumba.
Yeah, he's had a good first half as well, Mumba, so let himself down there, really. I think it's more of a slip than anything, John. Having a look at the replay, he just tries to plant his foot and ends up trotting right on Tanaka's toe, but he's fine, and no yellow card by looks of it for Mumba. But as you say, last chance of the half now for Leeds United. The last free kick from this position went to the edge of the area. It's got to go in the box for me.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, can they get it right? Again, ball roll to the edge of the area. Aronson flicks a good-looking ball in this time. Peru heads it in the air. It's not been dealt with. The shot comes in. Another shot. Both of them blocked away. They're all lining up waiting, but the wait is over because the referee's blowing his whistle. And at Home Park at half-time, it's Plymouth, Argyle 1, Leeds United 0.
Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time.
The Villa team at the moment, and the crowd, you can sense that in
yeah, they're almost like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but they're winning the game, and at this stage of the season, that's all really that's going to matter.
That is absolutely all that matters. The fact that they are winning at the moment, and they're going to really be looking to continue in the same vein as the second half draws closer. Okay. That is what's happening here in the Premier League so far today, but it is a huge day in the Championship, of course, the final day of the season, so much still to be decided. So we just take a check on the scores at the moment. So over in Plymouth, it is Plymouth 1, Leeds 0. Plymouth quite likely to stay up actually, but they are currently going down by a point to Derby. But for Leeds, it was a Sam Byron own goal that gave Plymouth the lead. It is Plymouth 1, Leeds 0. Sam Byron in the 18th minute, which means that Leeds are currently second in the table. So it would be Burnley who steal that championship title. They're currently drawing with Burnley. It's currently Burnley 1, Millwall 1. So Millwall, as it stands, out of the playoffs on goal difference. They really would need that victory, wouldn't they? What about this huge game then? Coventry against Middlesbrough. It is currently Coventry 1, Middlesbrough 0. Coventry in 5th. They're in the playoffs by just 2 points. Borough moved down to 10th on this, but if they get a victory and if they get a couple of goals in quick succession, it could be them in the playoffs and not Coventry. So a really huge one there. Bristol City 0 currently, Preston 1. Bristol City are in the playoffs on goal difference, 3 goals better off than Millwall. Preston, of course, in 18th as it stands. Sheffield United 0, Blackburn 0. Sheffield United in 3rd, pretty much looking to consolidate that 3rd place. Blackburn, though, are in 8th, and a win would put them in the playoffs, although currently it is Portsmouth 0 and Hull 1. That's a massive goal for Hull, by the way. They're currently up to 19th. Pompey are in 16th. What about West Brom against Luton? Well, it is West Brom 3, Luton 1, and as it stands, Luton are currently going down. They need a win, as even a point would happen below Derby on goal difference. But if Luton go down today, it will be only the 4th time ever that a team has been relegated from the Premier League down to the 3rd tier in successive sessions. It's not a record they want to be bearing, but at the moment that's how it is looking. Elsewhere, it's a goalless between Derby and Stoke. Derby at this point are out of the bottom 3 by a point. Stoke are 1 point and a place above them. Currently Sunderland 0, QPR 1, Swansea 1, Oxford 1, Watford 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, and Norwich 3, Cardiff City 0. Relegated Cardiff also down to 10 men after Callum Chambers was sent off when the score line was just 1-0, so it's not going very well for them on all counts. Okay, we're going to keep you up to date with everything that's happening in the Championship here on TalkSport, whilst our extensive coverage continues over on TalkSport 2, of course, and that includes exclusive commentary of Coventry against Middlesbrough. Here on TalkSport, though, Aston Villa lead Fulham by a 1-0, and the second half is coming up next.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport with Sky Sports. Stream the Sky Sports Big Weekend with Premier League action and the WSL Manchester Derby. Available with no contract on now. Search Now Sports. 18+. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
A Minecraft movie has arrived in McDonald's Happy Meal. Help your little ones build their own adventure. Explore the overworld and meet exciting new friends. Some fun, some food. It's all inside this Happy Meal. Until 6th of May from 11 a.m. Includes one pre-selected book or toy. While stocks last, fair ordering policy applies. See mcdonalds.co.uk/Happy Meal.
Screwfix Sprint delivers from store to door in as little as 20 minutes. You've finally found that perfect parking spot and you're ready to start work. But wait, you need a replacement part that's not in your van. Don't sweat it and don't move the van. Get moving on your job and we'll sprint over with exactly what you need before you can say, where's my spirit level? Screwfix Sprint delivers in as little as 20 minutes. Only $4.99 and only on the app. Conditions and geographical restrictions apply. Selected products.
The best seat in the house is no longer in the house. It's outside with the sound of birds chirping overhead. The best table isn't in the house either, or pillow, or outdoor lighting, or sun lounger. But you knew that already. Visit IKEA online or in store to level up your outdoors this summer. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
You don't just check in to a village hotel, you work out. You jump in, you play on, you tuck in, and drink up. Village Hotels, 33 locations with everything under one roof. A huge gym with pool and great membership opportunities. And a buzzing pub and grill with delicious food, ice-cold beers and live sport. Check out villagehotels.com and work out, stay, meet and play.
The season is shaping up, and whether they're going for glory or going down, it's all to play for. Get the ultimate football coverage with the Sun's free pull-out Goals! With the best writers pitchside for in-depth match reports, it's all about goals! And with unrivaled news from the Premier League to League Two, it has to be goals! Stay up to date on all the latest football action. Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday, only in the Sun.
Today, TalkSport gears up to bring you another blistering Premier League experience. And Betfair is here with all the latest odds and form.
Blasted into the back of the net.
Get all the fever pitch build-up and exclusive live commentary.
Cross, header in!
This Saturday on Game Day on TalkSport with Betfair.
And he scored!
Don't forget, Betfair are paying out winning bets at 90 minutes with 90-minute guarantee. Applies to match odds, 90 market sportsbook exclusive. T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Watching the big game cozied up in the snug. Balmy summer nights with the kids playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football!
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Game day exclusive on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Making a move or planning a clear-out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, we've got a van.
Fired up and raring to go.
He's done it again!
Game day.
The games, the goals, the glory.
How about that?
Game day exclusive
on TalkSport.
You're listening to Game Day Exclusive. I'm Reshmin Chowdhury live from Villa Park for our live and exclusive Premier League commentary match where it is currently Aston Villa 1. Why have I forgot? I was about to say Sheffield United because I was looking at something with the Championship. Aston Villa 1, Fulham 0. And we're going to get the latest now from Betfair, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage.
Game day on TalkSport with Betfair. Get a free £10 bet when you bet £10 on football hackers or bet builders this week. Opt-in and previous deposit required. Minimum odds and T's and C's apply. 18 plus. Gambleaware.org.
Yeah, it's not Aston Villa against Sheffield United, although it might be next season. It's Aston Villa against Fulham. And whilst Aston Villa do have the advantage with that 1-goal lead, it's a game where no one's really taken their chances. And I wonder where that leads the odds, Joe Dyer from Betfair.
Hello, yes, the odds are that it's 7-2 on, so 2-7 that Villa go on to get that win. Fulham or Sheffield United, they're 11-1, and the draw is 7-2. Yep, so plenty in it, you never know. Fulham might...
Game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at home park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time. What about it? 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. My goodness. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in the game at Home Park, and at the moment, Plymouth Argyle are spoiling Leeds United's title party. They lead at half-time by 1-0. Mustafa Bundu went really close with an effort earlier on in the first half. He beat 3 or 4 on Leeds colours, and his right-footed shot came off the outside of the post and went wide. Just a couple minutes later, it was the exact same movement. In, then back out, then back in to beat his defender. His shot was wayward this time, again off the post, but it bounced off Sam Byram to make it 1-0. Half-time in.
They've had enough play, even though they've been throwing mud at the wall. They've thrown enough mud, and here they are again, a chance to strike. This time Nyonto's effort is blocked away at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, Leeds won their last 2 games by an aggregate score of 10 goals to 0. Of course, Bristol City, the most recent to suffer defeat. Unbeaten in their last 9, won 5 from their last 5, 4 clean sheets during that time as well. Of course, no clean sheet this afternoon. A goal for Portsmouth at home to Hull to level things up. Ball into the area from Gruev. Drops towards the edge where the heads go up. Mumba wins it over Aronson. Could be a break on here as the body stream forward in green. It's Tijani off the right-hand side. Sorry, no, it's Bundu off the right-hand side. Gets away from a couple and again draws a foul. Excellent.
Do you know what? It's Bundu because they can't get the ball off him. If it's Tijani, he doesn't stick. Yeah. You know, the other thing that was great about that, Solomon looked at him, oh, it's him. And instead of selling his soul to block him out, he thought, I'd just run with him. I'll buy the lad some time. but even when they got 4 of them back, he couldn't take the ball off him. Yeah, he's had a hell of a game, you know. I wonder how much he's worth.
Well, looks like a player, doesn't he, John, who is putting himself in the shop window, really. I'm not suggesting he hasn't done that all season. He has been great all season. 10 goals, as I say, in the Championship. It's a shame he didn't make it 11 today, because still got time, 55 minutes on the clock. Plymouth won, Leeds won. But it looks like a player who's playing for a move.
Yeah. And he looks good enough to play maybe a high level. Just to show real of this game, you'd think, wow, you know, Leeds are a good team, but he's beaten them en masse, you know. He's held the ball up well. He's shown star quality, I think, and he's passed his audition today.
Yeah, second best defence in the league, Leeds United. Just 4 defeats, all of those, by the way, 1-0. So if Plymouth were going to win today, you know, they would. It would be the first to beat Leeds with a different scoreline. Here's Grove on the halfway line. It's 10 men Cardiff draw 1 back. 3-1 down away to Norwich.
Yeah, that equaliser for Pompey puts Hull in jeopardy, doesn't it? You know, they're teetering on the brink.
Yeah.
Luton are losing, but you know what? Pompey, they get another goal. Hull are going down, so that's right in the lap of the gods.
Yeah, the Burnley-Millwall game is an interesting one, isn't it? Because they might know now that they're a little bit further away, Millwall, from those playoff places. Both Blackburn and Coventry are winning. So Millwall, you would think, need to go for it, but Burnley will also now need to go for it because they might know that Leeds are drawing. So, very interesting game. Of course, we're not watching that, but I imagine it will become very exciting in the final sort of 30 minutes.
I think so, but I think the game's exciting anyway, and almost you've got to block it out. For Leeds, they don't care. You know, they know that if they get a victory today, then that's it. It's theirs. But nobody's going to gift that to them. Here again, come Plymouth at the edge of the box. An opportunity. Oh, it's that foul from Bogle inside the box. I thought it might have been. I think the referee was desperate to ignore that. But was it a foul? Should it have been a penalty on Bundu?
I was going to say I think it is, but there aren't that many frustrating and pleading calls to the referee.
It's time to start your business. Time to get customers. Time to make your future now.
After the ball had gone.
Yep.
Like I said, in not enough contact. It's a bit like the Aronson one on in the first half. He probably got caught a little bit, and then he tried to make it look bad. I think it's a similar thing. You know, there's a swipe and intent from Bogle, and again, it's a bit of Bundu magic, but it's not a penalty.
Luton are now 4-1 down against West Brom. So with just over half an hour to go, 58 minutes on the clock in our game, Plymouth won, Leeds United won. That almost seals their fate. Ball across towards Solomon. He goes down the line to the onrushing Byram. It's slightly overhit. He'll be well watched out. Although Byram fighting for it till the very last second. Swipes through the legs of Zooks. No foul, says the referee. It will just be a Plymouth goal kick. As I say, 58 minutes gone. Plymouth won, Leeds United won. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio base commentary at the minute. Cardiff, Plymouth and Luton going down. Leeds currently will be crowned champions. Burnley in second. And pretty much as it was at the start of the day. Coventry in 5th, Bristol in 6th. Those two just swapped positions from the start of the day. Sheffield United just got an equaliser against Blackburn. That drops them out of the top 6. So it's still on for Millwall if they can grab a goal against Burnley. Plymouth in possession in our game. Talivirov across the back 3 to Palsson. Has looked forward, fires one towards the right hand side. Lovely ball into the feet of Hardy. He's got Ampadu behind him, who wins the ball, the Welshman. Solomon takes over. He can break now, leads down the left hand side. He's just shown too much of it there to Zooks, who's just matched the Israeli for pace. Then it's cleared away by Plymouth up towards Bundu. It's a great ball. He takes it on his chest. He's not held out quickly enough by Tajani, and Aidan Bogle's able to bring the ball away. It's all very open now at the moment. Here's Bogle down the right hand side looking for Nonto. Miscommunication, and it's gifted back to Plymouth with Talivirov. But yeah, last few minutes it's been a bit back and forth, John.
Yeah, I think Plymouth have decided that they're going to go for it a little bit more. You know, they've been very much spelt and braces. They've, you know, defended quite deep, really. Low blocking at home, you know, maybe. But I think maybe the manager just said, look, let's go and play. If we're going down anyway, let's go down fighting rather than defending. And I think that they've opened the game up a little bit. So it'd be interesting to see where we go with it.
And now we're gone. Here's Solomon for Leeds United. Plymouth won, Leeds won. Back to Byram. Across to Gruev. Rodon still inside the opposition territory. Drops it back to Ampadu. As Preston have taken a 2-0 lead against Bristol City. West Brom have made it 5 at home to Luton. 5-1 in that game with 30 minutes left to play. Bristol losing, but still in the playoffs at the moment due to Millwall and Blackburn both drawing. Here comes a shot from Leeds United across the face of goal. Jane Bogle never really caught that the way he wanted to. Out of play for a goal kick. Sorry, it was Nonto.
Yeah, it was Nonto, and again, he just a smile and apologising slightly. Well, got the ball like his feet. Never really looked, did he? He's hitting it on the turn. Was disappointed with himself. I thought he had a bit more time than he thought there. That's been the story of Leeds today, really. They've been snatching at stuff all the way throughout the game. No changes made by the manager, but I don't think we're too far away from them. For Leeds, they've got a strong enough bench with the likes of Ramazzani. I doubt we see young Harry Gray on, but I think he scored, didn't he, for the under-21s when they won their National League trophy in midweek at Sutton United. So Leeds had been celebrating a title, and that's not easy for the under-21s to do, because they've got to go and in that competition play against fellas, fully grown teams. And they always have to play away the under-21s, so they did it the hard way and won their title at Sutton. So no mean feat for them.
Yeah, fully grown professionals as well at that level. Of course, more and more teams, not just in the National League but in the North and the South as well, are fully professional.
Well, the Leeds under-21s, by all accounts as well, is pretty much the under-18s, and the under-18s have been terrible this season for Leeds because they've all filtered into the bigger team. The under-18s for Leeds got beaten 13-0 or something by Man United or something like that. Anyway, here come the Leeds now.
Solomon down the left-hand side. He's got Byron, but checks away from him. Gets a shot in from the edge of the area. It's over the bar. Not for the first time from the Israeli this afternoon. He's been a real live wire for Leeds United, involved in the equalising goal, but didn't really catch that one. 62.5 minutes gone. Plymouth won. Leeds United won. But it is a little bit more open. Less bodies back for Plymouth. Maybe because they are searching for another goal. That the home park crowd getting behind them a little bit, and maybe they're moving away from sitting back as much as they were in the first half.
Yeah, I think they're just getting tired as well. You want to support attacks, and then they're looking to low block. You can't do everything. So I think when they're trying to get forward, one or two boys are getting caught up the field, and it's just allowing the Leeds a little bit more opportunity. Here is Nyonto, but against some great defending there. I think that was Roberts chasing back. Ball given away. Here come Leeds.
Here's Aronson off the left-hand side. He'll go down the line to Solomon on the byline, then into the area. He's got one to beat, then another joins, goes towards the edge of the area. A shot should come in here from Tanaka. Takes a touch, slips as he hits it with his left. It's partially cleared away up towards Tajani. His loose touch falls to Gruev. Leeds United will come again. Head-in-hand stuff there from Tanaka, who seems to have picked up a little bit of a knock as well in getting that shot away at goal. Here's Aronson from Solomon. Poor touch cleared away. And Leeds will have to start again from the back. Darlow picks the ball up.
Well, I thought that was going to be the goal then, didn't you? But for Tanaka slipping, I thought he'd enough control of the ball there to thump it in left-footed. Just slaloming in, but his standing leg went from underneath him. But Leeds, they're looking more and more likely now to go and grab the match-winning goal.
And the title-winning goal, of course, it would be. Is Gruev from Byron back to Byron, then back to Gruev once more. Across the face of goal for Rodon, who's really high up the pitch in the final third. Ball comes in from Jaden Bogle towards Byron, cleared away off the toes of Sam Byron by Edwards, and out for a Leeds corner.
Yeah, the captain had to do something there. Ball whipping across, Byron to get on the end of it. Maybe cut the ball back. I think it was a difficult angle. We're just looking at Tanaka's standing leg going then. He's coming at an angle, he's trying to cut the ball back, but anyway, it's a corner kick for Leeds.
And it comes towards the centre of the box, headed towards goal by Byron, but it didn't really get a meaningful contact on it. There was a man rushing in at the back stick in Tanaka, but he couldn't get there either.
Burnley have scored. Burnley 2, Millwall 1, and so I tell you what, there's been a bit of to and fro in the table. Out of the playoff positions, that's been a movable feast. Hull had been down and back up and down and back up. As it stands, Luton would be going down. But if Portsmouth score against Hull, then that could change again. Leeds started the afternoon top of the table, but that had changed. You know, at Millwall, they thought it had done them a favour. Then Burnley got straight back. Plymouth scoring, of course, it meant that Leeds are second. Then Leeds get the equaliser. Off we go again with Burnley top of the table once more. 2-1 against the Lions. And who scored that goal for them?
As fate would have it, John, it's Jaden Anthony, who spent...
he's had a good season, hasn't he?
Spent time on loan at Leeds United last season, of course.
Yeah, 2 good seasons then. And getting a regular first-team football out on the left-hand side, isn't he? We're going to see the first change for Plymouth.
Yeah, it's a couple of changes, actually. Looks like Roberts is being replaced, as is number 26, Tijani, who has been booked. So, a couple of changes, one up front and one in midfield. Coming on for them was that was Boateng and Wright, I believe.
Yeah, Malachi Boateng and Callum Wright. I think that they don't necessarily bring any better players on. They're just fresh legs. It's not the strongest squad that you're going to see, really. But Tijani was poor. They could have taken him off at half time, I thought. Anyway, Callum Wright will come on and see what he can do. Like I said, it's always a chance to showcase what talents you've got. And he couldn't do any worse, could he? Callum Wright, just 5 goals in his 73 appearances, though. Probably tells its own story, that.
Only one of those in the Championship, the rest coming in League One. Plymouth 1, Leeds United 1. 67 minutes play. You're listening to Off-Tube Independent Studio-based commentary. At the minute, Leeds need one more goal. That will take them back to the top of the Championship table, and they will be crowned champions. But since their equaliser, haven't really threatened.
Well, there's that Tanaka effort. I mean, he did slip, but he's in a great position, more or less at the penalty spot. Again, I probably think they create 2 or 3 more great opportunities before they come off the field, so we'll have to wait and see. The other thing was Plymouth were getting stretched and beginning to look tired, weren't they? Leeds have got a very good bench. Should they wish to dip into it, albeit their manager always seems quite low to make his changes, doesn't he?
Goal kick for Plymouth. Connor Hazard, who just before he took the last goal kick, he appeared to pick up a little bit of a knock. He seems to be okay now, and he's going to launch this one forward. Bristol City have got one back at home against Preston, so it's 2-1 to the visitors in that one. We are 3/4 of the way through the game in our game, though. Plymouth 1, Leeds United 1, and John will take us through to full time.
Yeah, and if Burnley go on to win the title, they'll do that with 100 points tally. And that's a magic mark, isn't it? We're going to see Fuba come on now. We thought maybe there's a problem with Byram. We'll have to wait and see if that's it. But here is Solomon. He's been the outball throughout the course of the game. Goes on to his left again. Runs out of racing room. It's a good challenge comes in. Strong competitive stuff then from Joe Edwards. And I think he scraped the ball off Solomon, at least that's what the referee thought, and it will be a throw for Plymouth.
Well, he's got 4 to beat there, John. He tries to turn back, and I think he's going to play it to the full-back, but he never really gets the opportunity. But he's coming forward, and there's just 4 green shirts around him, and they're really hounding him now. They know the danger he possesses.
So Fuba is on, and Byram goes off, and it looked like he picked up some kind of knock. We'll see how they get on. I think they probably have missed Junior Firpo today's ability to overlap and underlap. Solomon aids and abets him, and he hasn't really had that support today. And it's understandable. Byram, trying his best to just fulfill a position that he's never going to be that strong at. But he did okay. Vuba, the first pass is decent. And Leeds again playing out from the back. The ball won't ever quite reach Jaden Bogle there, and it had gone out. Leeds seem to have won the throw, and then they've got it back. All the fans of the far side couldn't have been wrong, could they, in green, and they thought they were harshly dealt with there.
Well, the referee, I think, was going to give it to Plymouth. He was just waiting for the call from the official. The official gives it the other way to Leeds, and I think the referee has to override him because it should have been a Plymouth throw. It definitely comes off Nonto, and as you say, all the fans right there can't be wrong, but somehow the linesman is.
Yeah, but anyway, the right decision in the end. Ball flicked up in the air by Gruev. Pirou's not really had a kick today. Again, Ampadu will clear his lines there. Hardy slides in and blocks away. Plymouth 1, Leeds 1. As it stands, Leeds will have to be happy with going up to the Premier League, but not as champions. Their open top bus celebration will probably be see. I would have thought a couple of 100,000 fans in Leeds to watch it. Similar things have done those kind of numbers. They haven't had an awful lot to cheer over the last few years. And of course, the last time they went up, it was in COVID as well. But here, an opportunity. Great stuff by Barley Mumba getting round the back there, but his cutback blocked away. And again, now
poor touch.
Yeah, really poor touch. And Adam Randall able to come in, and was that Tanaka running there? And I think it was a good challenge on him. And Tanaka over on it to come off second best.
Yeah. He's not been great today, has he, Tanaka? He's one of those that, for most of the seasons, looked like a step up he would take in his stride, but I think he struggled a little bit this afternoon. I said to you earlier, I thought Leeds could have made some changes ahead of this one just to freshen things up. I thought Rothwell might have started. I thought Ramazani, especially after getting two brilliant goals off the bench against Bristol, would have started as well. Don't get me wrong, Solomon's been great, but Tanaka, not so. 20 minutes remaining. I think they need to freshen it up again, Daniel Farker.
Yeah, I think so. Time running out. You know, he's trusted his men, and he's got sort of infinite patience, hasn't he? Tanaka hobbling around at the minute, and I think surely Joe Rothwell will be warming up by now. He's injected something, hasn't he, Joe Rothwell? At times he's done some great work, but looks like Leeds are getting ready. Make another change. The ball with Vuba. He runs through a challenge, and he's trying to play the ball forward. Aronson skips around a challenge, keeps it alive. Wasn't a great pass to Nyonto, and neither was his. Read well by Barley Mumba, who picks a pocket there. Ball back on the inside and into midfield, and it's one back by Lee Type. The field really sloppy there. The ball then through to the byline. The cutback is there, and the ball's in the back of the net from Joel Piroux, and that's it. Leeds go top back. Has it been ruled out? Has the flag gone up? Though it has. Well, I don't know if he was or he wasn't, but the flag went up, so, you know.
The ball doesn't come quick enough, John. There's two players out wide. They're so open. There's no defender there. Barley Mumba had lost the ball higher up the pitch. He wasn't back in time. It has to go quicker. I know they get there eventually, but he is offside and the goal's not going to stand. But from Solomon, this has to come sooner. Oh, he's on. He's on as well.
He's on by a mile. Yet again, it won't be the first time this season a goal choked off for Leeds, and it's linesman playing a guessing game. The linesman was never level, and then when he sees the player, he's off. But his starting position was on. Again, you know, Leeds will have cause to moan. They'll be glad of getting up into the Premier League just so those decisions might go their way next season. Particularly when you're playing such fine lines and fine margins. The ball all the way back to Connor Hazard, gets it out of his feet. Fuba comes to win it, throws himself at the ball. In the end, the ball goes all the way back to Darlow. He gets it out with his feet. No problem there. I haven't seen Callum Wright on the ball just yet. He closes down. I think Bundu's playing close to goal right now, but seemingly not able to get on the ball. So, it's still Plymouth 1, Leeds 1. Well, that was going to be a big goal, and it should have stood. But unfortunately, Bristol City 2, P&E 2 now. Goals keep happening. I'm not sure that Leeds aren't going to find a way, but they're going to have to go and do it again, and seemingly no help from the officials. Again, Solomon, a little slalom to the edge of the box. He's looking for targets. Eventually, he finds Bogle. Bogle puts an early ball in. It's picked off by the keeper. Connor Hazard comes. There are two at the far post, but the ball never reaches him.
Yeah, I'd lost it. I'd lost the line of sight there, but the referee, the goalkeeper never did. Hazard just comes and plucks it out of the sky. They don't put many crosses in like that today, Leeds United. Hazard is a big goalkeeper, isn't he, between the sticks? He's almost got to everything that Leeds have put into the area. But yeah, you're right. I think a quarter of an hour remaining, Leeds have scored many late goals in big games this season. You think back to the back-to-back victories against Sunderland and Sheffield United, had to come from behind late on in both of those. So they're used to leaving it late. They're used to scoring late. They've got goals in them. The highest scorers in the league this season. Another one this afternoon makes it 95. So there's still more chances in this.
Solomon finds Vuber into the box. He goes. His cutback looks decent, but so too is the block from Boateng. And so, again, I keep talking about throwing mud at the wall, but it feels like that today. It's almost muscle memory from Leeds, isn't it? And I don't know what they do without Solomon today, because they've been bang average pretty everywhere else on the park. But they're still on the front foot. I don't know what possession stats are, Tom, but they'd be pretty telling. I'd reckon it'd be about 70%.
79.
Wow, it's a lot, isn't it? Anyway, ball scraped into the box. Vuber can't get there. It's been blocked away. Ampadu gets it out of his feet. Again, it's for Solomon. And how many touches he's had today? Be a lot. Gruev out of his feet. And then the ball driven forward. Again, Leeds trying to pick a pocket, but Tanaka, they've got to go wide somehow. Anyway, here they are again. Gruev into the box for Solomon, promising this for Leeds. Again, he's got to cut back onto his right. Thinks about it. Again, he just running across the face. The ball again goes back one way, then the other. Gruev then the ball out to the left-hand side to Vuber. Gruev percentage ball in. Two getting each other's way, trying to head that ball away. Sloppy, really, Palsin and Televierov. But they've got away with that. And in Leeds, again, it's a sort of slow, lumbering, laboured build-up. But they keep hold of the ball at the edge of the area. Really lacking zip. It's a lovely little drop of the shoulder there from Tanaka. But well read there. And Leeds have it back, but it's an adjudged foul. And Ampadu not happy with the decision. Neither Bogle, but our referee not bothered about that. Jeremy Simpson, I think it was a foul probably. Frustrating as it might be for Leeds.
I think it's just as much as a foul as the one on Piru a few seconds ago, John. And I think because Leeds are in an attacking area on the edge of the box, they don't get that decision. But because Plymouth are breaking the other way, they get it. Yeah, I don't know if he's got that one right there, Jeremy Simpson. I think he could have just played play on the way he had moments before that. Yeah,
going to be another double change then. Nikola Katic comes on. Fresh legs for Zook. So I'm trying to work out who's out of the change now. Oh, it's the captain, Joe Edwards, going off. He played quite well today. I mean, I think you take a risk, really. Matthew Sorinola coming on. So two defenders, really. And hoping to keep Solomon at bay. It's on his side, isn't it? Tanaka goes off, and that should have happened a long time ago. And Aronson off as well. So fresh legs. I dare say Ramazzani's one, but I haven't seen who's come on. And probably Rothwell, but we haven't seen yet.
Is that Patrick Bamford, I think? That might have just come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, they gave us the Plymouth change, and then not hiding the hair of the Leeds ones, but they have made a couple. And Ramazzani is one, and no surprises there. And I guess that Rothwell would be the other. No, in fact, Bamford's on for Tanaka. So, yeah, a real change, very positive from Daniel Farker. And well, the player goes down now for Plymouth. I think, not sure who that is.
Well, you just wonder if Leeds have been given enough time with those changes, John. Only 11 minutes to go in normal time. There won't be that much added on either, unless Bundu here stays down for a long, long time. But 11 minutes to come on, get embedded in the game. I know Ramazzani scored 2 off the bench, the first with his first touch, but that is it's not usually the way it goes. It usually takes a little bit of time to get into the game. A big ask, I think, for Leeds United in this final 11 minutes, because Plymouth have been pretty good defensively, at least fight at the end. I think they've allowed Solomon to run at them a lot and then blocked everything. So, you know, the sort of last 10% of the defending has been great from Plymouth.
Yeah, they've done well enough. I think it's a combination of them defending well, and Leeds been fairly flat today. You want that spark. No one's really been sparking. I think Solomon's been the best player for Leeds, and I'd say Bundu's been the best player throughout the game, really. his control, his drive. We're looking at him now because they're going to show that goal again. The way he cuts past Rodon absolutely leaves him guessing, and he gets the look. The ball comes off the inside of the post, though. He's not shaving the post, it's properly off the inside, and I guess Barham's unlucky. Anyway, it looks like Bundu's run his race. That's a shame. I think he's played really well. But like I said, he's propelled himself forward. Any scouts watching this will be thinking, oh, he's all right. You know, maybe if he's in a dominant team and gets more ball, you know, then you've got quite a player there. Anyway, we'll have to see. Baidu is the man who comes on. Michael Baidu, the Ghanaian, who's a midfielder. So again, there's no sense of Plymouth, you know, throwing everything at this. Almost like they're happy with one apiece. But anyway, we're not quite finished just yet. There's plenty of time left, really. 9 minutes plus whatever's added, which is probably going to be about 5 minutes. So as it stands, Burnley then will be the champions of the championship. But for Leeds, they've got opportunity here. Got Patrick Bamford on. He's had a very quiet season.
Need a UGC video for your business? Find me and many other skilled creators on Fiverr. Or you could.
He hangs out your left leg. He controls it well though, but he's offside, and he needs to look across the line. Flag had gone up. Not that that's assured that he was off there.
No, that's the sort of run though that makes it a little bit easier for the defender to step up, because he's running away from the defensive line, isn't he? He's moving sort of through the right centre back and the right back, and in that sense, the defender who's marking him can just step up. He knows he's going to be offside. We haven't seen a replay. We don't know if that's
when you're banging the ball straight down the middle and there's no angle. It makes it quite easy to step up, doesn't it? Anyway, Leeds defending. Ampadu ball in the air. It won't come down, this one. Vuba with the latest effort. The ball is going to go out, I think, for a goal kick. They'll be happy to leave it out. So Plymouth 1, Leeds 1, 83 minutes on the clock. Burnley still 2-1 up against the Lions of Millwall. They'll be desperate to get back in it. I wonder if there's a sense of Burnley hanging on. That kind of thing, you don't know. Fuba's caught from behind there. Referee was looking the other way. His effort didn't quite work out. Here Plymouth down the left hand side, it is Callum Wright, and he's happy to play off the defender. And there will be maybe a long throw here, parallel with the edge of the box. And a bit of time wasting. Barley Mumba doing his keepy uppies there. Maybe just wait for support. They're bringing the big guys in. Up comes Maxi Televirov. I guess Victor Palsson in there too. In fact, no, Palsson has got the ball up his shirt at the minute. They're taking their own sweet time, aren't they, with this throw?
Yeah, a bit of gamesmanship here, I think, from Plymouth, and they've been boxed as well, Palsson, for time wasting, and rightfully so.
Yeah, faffing about too much. Anyway, the Icelandic throw-in is not bad, but it's been headed away. Leeds may be able to clear it. Sliding challenge in there from Boateng. But Leeds take their own sweet time with the throw as well. And if he's going to book Leeds. But no, they've managed to play it quickly enough. Time running out. Time running out in a great season. In the grand scheme of things, I guess it doesn't matter too much. But, you know, I think... you know, they'd be a bit disappointed. I think that you'd rather finish your season off at home, and I think maybe the crowd could have inspired a bit more passion than perhaps what we're seeing. But Daniel Farke is still out in his technical area. He's hoping. 6 minutes left of regulation play. 6 minutes left to put the cherry on top of the cake, really. But it just doesn't look likely, does it?
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it, to go out with a little bit of a whimper after such a brilliant season.
Anyway, ball into the box, a little flick back there by Vuba. It hasn't been cleared away. And now Gnonto looking for the give and go. He didn't quite get the ball back. Good into play though, and Plymouth able to work it clear. It's a foul there from Peru.
Doesn't need to do that, does he?
No, it's frustration. He went right through the back of Baidu, and he gets himself a yellow card. He's playing a little bit deeper because Bamford's further forward. I think he's frustrated, but anyway, he showed it there, and he gets a yellow card for that.
Yeah, it's a good break from Plymouth. He draws the defender in well there, Baidu, and I think if Peru doesn't bring him down, he might get to that ball and get past Ampadu, and it could have been a chance. So from a Leeds perspective, I suppose it's not the worst yellow card to take it in the world, but I just don't think it was necessary. Leeds could have got bodies back and could have prevented Plymouth from scoring, and then gone and caught them on the counter-attack themselves as well.
Any free kick and set piece now is taking forever. Daniel Farker arms it out, saying, come on. You know, it surely doesn't take half a minute for every dead ball. Ball thrown up into the box, hasn't quite been defended just yet. And Bogle will launch it up in the air. Gnonto chests it back. Ball still up in the air, but now for Bamford, it's off his chest. Gnonto runs it forward, trying to play it down the line. Leeds will have a throw. Running out of time.
Yeah, I think their only hope now, Leeds United, is a Millwall equaliser. I don't think that looks likely against, of course, such a well-defending Burnley side, particularly at Turf Moor. They haven't lost a game at Turf Moor all season. I'm pretty sure they've conceded single figures as well. So this might be it on Leeds United's season. Have to settle for second.
Maybe, but again, Gruev, he dances forward. He's not quite the sharpest tool, is he, when he has to get forward? But the ball again back to Manor Solomon. Again, there's two on him, and this time Baidu picks his pocket, takes it away. Ball stabbed up the field. It's a chance for Callum Wright, and he's done. In fact, no, it's Ryan Hardy. He's done well enough there, holding the ball up. So yeah, Leeds just looking a little bit leggy, but pretty much from the get-go they've been like that. They've dominated their possession and territory, and it's a bit like when you're tired being asked to do something incredible. Well, they popped the ball around a little bit better since the break, but they haven't been great today. What's going on at Turf Moor? Anything or nothing?
Big chance, I think, for Millwall, but pulled offside anyway. Here come Plymouth.
Yeah, Baidu's ball to the box is a good one. Shot comes in, it's stabbed wide by Hardy, and yeah, it will be Leeds a goal kick then. Never really caught hold of that, left-footed, and he's trying to just stab at that rather than try and curl it in. It wasn't his finest hour, really. Good play by Baidu since he's come on. He's looked lively. Anyway, Coventry looked like they've sealed their deal against Middlesbrough. Yep. Borough had a right big chance today, didn't they? Could have gone fifth with a victory or something like that, but they've been really hot and cold all season. Coventry were red hot, and then they went off the boil, didn't they, a bit. Gruev back on the ball, Leeds back on the ball, over the halfway line. But will their fans have something to celebrate? You know, the roof will come off Home Park if they do manage to get a goal. There's plenty of Leeds fans over there. I can see all the white shirts on the far side. West Bromwich having 5, Luton 3. That's a hell of a game, but still terrible for Luton fans.
Just two more goals, John.
Well, here come Leeds, ball into the box, and that's been blocked away at the expense of a corner. Well, there's no Pascal Strout to come off the bench and not in. No Junior Fairpoacher head in either. He'd been quite the charm. But anyway.
Yeah, they've not looked dangerous enough, Leeds United, both in open play and particularly from set pieces. So maybe this delivery is good enough to cause a problem.
Well, Solomon's ball comes in, up go the heads, it's gone through the box and it's been defended away. Gnonto will pick up the scraps and finds Jayden Bogle. He finished central at the minute, no angle for him to do anything really, but he drops his shoulder, he beats the first would-be challenger, goes for a strike, it's blocked away. Baidu wins the next ball and he can run away with it. They've got bodies forward, it's a good breakdown left-hand side. Here's Callum Wright then, they've got 3 against 3 if he uses the ball early enough. He's running towards the box, into the box he goes, his cutback is terrible. Keeper Darlow then rides the challenge of Hardy, comes away with the ball. Really sloppy stuff from Callum Wright. He really lacked positivity to create opportunity there. He just didn't take it.
Yeah, and it's selfish initially, isn't it, from Jayden Bogle? I think he beats a couple of players and he just opens up and tries to get the shot away, but there's so many bodies blocking it. He needs to just release the ball after he's beaten those players. And as you say, potential for a really good break, isn't it, from Plymouth, and they don't make the most of it. Callum Wright really should do better because Plymouth, if they were to grab a goal there, it's all 3 points for them, and they really would have spoiled the Leeds United party.
Well, Mateo Joseph comes on now for what, a minute? What's the point? Bogle goes off. We haven't seen Ramazzani on the ball just yet, but Leeds are going to throw everything at it. They'll be hoping for a big board full of minutes, but they're just not getting anything moving. I think in the midfield today, Tanaka and Gruev have been disappointing. That drives the team to some degree. But anyway, here they are with Ramazzani, out the flank. Grave again, ball out left-hand side. Vubert, and again to Manor Solomon into added time. I haven't seen the board. Solomon again, a little scamper around. He's cut back, he's blocked away, gets the ball back. They're looking to work it inside the area. It pings off the leg of Joseph. It doesn't break for Leeds. Didn't see the board, no indication just yet how many minutes it's on. The ball up in the air, and the flag has gone up. An offside effort that from Hardy coming back, or was it has it gone the other way? No, it is right. Anyway, still don't know what time's been added on, but again. Nyonto on the ball. There's a little break here into the box. They go. Manor Solomon a shot, and it's through, and they've scored. And Leeds could well be the champions. Solomon's shirt comes off. He's had a great game today. The outball found him, scraped to by Nyonto. He turned his shot. The shot went underneath Connor Hazard, and the fans in the stands go wild.
Well, I'm not sure if it's deserved or not, John. They had one incorrectly ruled out, Leeds United. That would have been the winner. They've really pushed and prodded Plymouth, but they've held on so well, Plymouth, for most of the game. Leeds United have not been at it. I don't know if the neutral would say that Leeds deserve all 3 points, but I think what they can say is they do deserve to win the league. I think they have been the best team this season. So often they've left it late. They've left it late in this game, as they did against Sunderland, as they did against Sheffield United. 3 big games. They got 9 points from those games, and Leeds United are going to win this game now, and they're going to win the league.
Well, I think he caps a man of the match performance. Manor Solomon,
Yeah.
He's going to get booked, his shirt's off, he doesn't care.
I thought he was going to take his shorts off at one point, John.
yeah, absolutely. The fans are going wild. Like we said, the roof had come off. It's a shame for Plymouth, but again, they're not positive enough at home. I was saying, look, why don't they go? It doesn't matter if you're going down anyway. Go out in a blaze of glory. But anyway, look at Solomon slaloming into the box, and then he finds enough space for that right foot drive. He doesn't have to do anything too extravagant. Look at his feet, though, again. Superb.
I thought he'd made a mistake, John, by not playing it to Nyonto, because he makes a butt-gusting run to get into the box. He doesn't play it, but Solomon, he's just got such a really good head on his shoulders in terms of his football ability. You know, he knows exactly what he wants to do every single time, and
he looked like he was going to take his shots off.
He didn't he? I thought that's what he was going to do. Burnley have just got a third actually at home to Millwall to wrap up all 3 points. I just said butt gusting run. I meant, obviously, of course, I meant gut busting.
Oh, butt gusting. We'll take that.
It was one of them. Either way, it's Plymouth 1 Leeds 2.
It was something. Anyway, Manor Solomon got a yellow card. Like I said, he won't care. Rodon wins the next header. It's Leeds' turn now to defend, and they've got some defending to do. The ball thumped up in the air away from Hardy. Don't know how much time has been put on the board, but when the board went up, 6 minutes, they were hoping for something like 6 or 7. Now they'd be
Wishing
hoping
it was 3.
Yeah. Anyway, long ball into the box. Here's a header. An opportunity there for Plymouth. The ball still not been cleared away, but the flag has gone up the far side. I think what's been given, is it a corner kick? It looks like it might be. So this game's not done and dusted yet. The Leeds then hanging on. You know, could there be another twist and turn of the season? Clarence fans will be hoping so.
What about that? Refund! Score a refund with any goal on Just Eat.
To do, they've got some big lads to try and find now for the corner kick. Great chance if Adam Randall can find a good delivery here, and the roof will come off the stadium one more time, but it would be the green contingent now. Let's see. The ball then comes across. It's a header. It's gone just wide. Oh, and really rising there. Not quite sure it was in the end, but I think Katic it was with a header. He claims he was getting bundled into. I'm not sure about that, but I'm sure it was a great opportunity.
It was a very good opportunity. It's almost a free header for Katic. He runs in. He's totally unmarked. He just has to rise above. It's Joe Rodon who's closest to him, but he's actually marking someone else inside there. It might have been Boateng. Katic doesn't get a good enough contact on it. He really should do better.
I don't know what he's moaning at there, because I thought there was a gilt-edged opportunity. Unmarked running in. Terrible defending from Leeds.
Yep.
But now they don't have much defending to do. And this time, Carl Darlow's chance to get himself a yellow card for time wasting. Time wasn't on their side. It just didn't look likely, but they found a way. Manor Solomon will seal a man of the match performance. And according to some stats that I'm looking at today, he's been the best player in the championship this season. That's debatable, but he's certainly been a good player for Leeds. You know, they want to get that signing done, 15 million or whatever. It's an absolute no-brainer from Leeds' point of view to have him.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, experience in the Premier League, minimal, granted, but experience with Fulham and with Tottenham. He's played in the Champions League previously at his other clubs. He's a Israeli international. He's got a load of caps for his country. He's a step above this level. He could definitely make the step up back to the Premier League. As you say, he's got a ball on a string. He's technically brilliant. I think his decision-making is really underrated for that goal. That's the point that I was trying to get across, but I was a bit too flustered to make it. But his decision-making is brilliant. He always seems to do the exact right thing. Whether it comes off or not, it always seems like the best option.
What I liked about the goal was that I think it was a great give and go from Jon to expect the ball back, but so too probably did the keeper.
Yeah.
And because he's running into a gap, Jon he's caught everybody's eye. He just thinks, right, okay, use the decoy, that's fine by me. And unlike a Brendan Aronson, when he hits the ball, it stays hit. He somehow finds a way. 96 minutes nearly on the clock now, and for Plymouth, they put a long ball into the box. Darlow, catching practice for him. He drops down onto the ground, gathers the ball in, happy to do that, and Darlow's sending everybody away now. 96 minutes on the clock, and Carl Darlow will bounce the ball. He hasn't taken his yellow card yet, but I'm sure it might be coming, it might not.
Yeah, I think he deserves a lot of credit. Carl Darlow, of course, he's not played for probably 90% of the season, but you have to stay both fit but also mentally ready, don't you, as a goalkeeper, because you use so rarely when you are that second choice. But he's come in, and I don't think he's made a single mistake since doing so. I'm sure Meslier feels a little bit hard done by it. I'm sure he feels that he would have wanted to do better, he would have wanted to stay between the sticks, but Darlow's been brilliant, and credit to him.
Yeah, not done and dusted yet. Another long ball. Darlow's got work to do. He comes out and punches, gets enough on that one, but Plymouth still trying. And then Matteo Joseph runs past the ball. Still an opportunity for Plymouth to get back into the game. They're just at the edge of the area. The ball, though, has gone too long, and surely that's the last action for Leeds. Then they wait for the referee to blow his whistle, arms out stretched. 97 minutes on the clock when 6 minutes were added on. Torture this, but the Whites ready to run on and celebrate. And Ethan Ampadu now. Well, somebody's going to wait for his yellow card before he takes that throw, I'm sure. But there is not long left, literally seconds. Leeds top dogs this season. They're all getting ready. The fans in the yellow and the white shirts in the stand. They're up and in arms now and enjoying it. And all of a sudden, everybody's run onto the pitch. The referee's blown his whistle. And a final scoreline then at Home Park, a disappointing one for Plymouth. But it's Leeds are the champions. Final scoreline, Plymouth 1, Leeds United 2. Thanks for joining us.
And then in the second half they managed the game. They had to defend well. They made sure they got it was a defensive contact every time it came into the box first, but then off the back of that, in that transition, they used the ball well. They had that outlet, they had that quality in the wide areas. Hadji Wright was excellent. Sakamoto was outstanding. Even Ellis Sims done his job. Everyone ticked the box today. He'll be delighted, Frank Lampard.
Just let me check. Are they still playing at Bramall Lane, Alan Biggs?
Time, Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1. Blackburn gave it everything, couldn't give it quite enough, and they're not going to be in the playoffs, but they're being applauded by their supporters around the ground here, particularly behind one goal, and one goal wasn't enough from Yuki Ohashi. The equaliser coming from Anel Ahmedhodzic, but the big chance, Emmanuel Dennis had a chance from a corner, a free header at the near post, which he put wide during the 8 minutes of stoppage time. It finishes with Blackburn just outside the playoffs, despite a 6-match unbeaten run at the end of the season. Sheffield United 1, Blackburn Rovers 1.
And as we hand back to Faye Carruthers at the Hawthorns, handshakes around the CBS Arena. There will soon be a lap of honour, but the season is not done for Coventry City. They've got another playoff tilt to have a go at, like they did 2 years ago, after a full-time score here of Coventry City 2, Middlesbrough 0.
They certainly do. Dan, thank you very much, and to Chris as well. And
we will have both playoff games live and exclusively on TalkSport on Thursday and Friday. Just to confirm for you, Thursday it'll be Bristol City against Sheffield United. That's an exclusive on the TalkSport app. And on Friday, the 10th of May, Coventry will face Sunderland in the first leg, live on TalkSport. Here at the Hawthorns, though, Luton Town's back-to-back relegation has been confirmed, Mickey Gray.
Yes, where it is finished here at the Hawthorns. West Bromwich Albion 5, Luton Town 3. Before kick-off, the fate was in Luton Town's hands, but after 8 minutes, Tom Fellows scored a low left-foot strike into the bottom corner. That was then nullified on 10 minutes through Milanic Ali with a right foot low finish into the corner, but it was West Bromwich Albion who took the lead again on 30 and 32 minutes with goals from Daryl DK and Tom Fellows. Albion came out in the second half. Callum Stiles got a couple of goals, one with his left foot into the bottom corner and another super strike from the edge of the 18-yard area. Luton rallied with Jordan Clark and Milanic Ali with his second goal, but it wasn't enough on the day. Luton Town find themselves in the bottom three, back-to-back relegations. It's really unfortunate. Just looking over to the right-hand side, sad day for Luton Town. And Faye, I don't know, the last question to you, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel like the pit of my stomach is as low as it could possibly go, but equally as a Luton Town fan, I've been here many times before and I know that this club can get itself back into the Championship again. We've suffered 3 relegations in a row previously, so this isn't the worst that I've been a Luton Town fan in terms of what I've had to suffer. Listen, the 2,500 fans over there, the minute West Brom decided that they were going to turn up, which they perhaps should have done, and they'd been in a playoff push themselves this season, you know, we knew that it was going to be really difficult for us, and ultimately we didn't do enough in the season. The change of management with Matt Bloomfield coming in January in replace of Rob Edwards, it took him a while to get the group going again, but he did get the group going again, and we were seeing improved performances. Today we just didn't.
Yeah, I mean, it was like they never really got going, and they were kind of hoping on other sides to pick them out of that bottom three. As I said before, they were in the relegation zone on 8 minutes, but on 10 minutes they got that lifeline where they got themselves level. But from that moment on, I wanted to see more. It looked like Carlton Morris was carrying an injury. He went off at the break. They made those changes, but they didn't really push anybody forward to get them back in the game in the second half. And it was really flat to our right-hand side. We talked about it in the game, didn't we, in the Smethwick end. You just mentioned 2,500 fans have travelled here today. They've been on a brilliant run, but unfortunately they find themselves in the bottom three.
I genuinely thought we were going to get a survival party here. It's all over at Turf Moor, and heartbreaking in the end for Burnley because they've finished by 3-1. They've missed out on the title because of Leeds' result, Chris Hull.
Yes, that's right. Full time, Burnley 3, Millwall 1. We had an incredible start to this game at Turf Moor because it was the Lions, the visitors, who pounced on the opening goal and opened the door and the opportunity for the playoffs. It was a wonderful goal as well from Ivanovic inside the 6-yard box. Lovely little deft touch from across from the right-hand side. But then Josh Brownhill for Burnley's been sensational all season with a beautiful right-footed curling shot, equalised just 60 seconds later. Then early in the second half, Burnley got their second goal and made it 2-1. Jadon Anthony, who could have had a hat-trick today, finally got his goal, also curling in right-footed from the edge of the box. Josh Brownhill, in added-on time, got his 18th goal of the season, a free kick from the edge of the box. Burnley have 100 points. They're promoted to the Premier League. Millwall miss out on the playoffs, but the Football League title and the Championship goes to Leeds, thanks to that late goal down at Plymouth from Manor Salomon, and Leeds United and Ellen Road have the Football League title. It's Burnley 3, Millwall 1.
Thank you very much. Yeah, what a final day in the Championship. I mean, it was